talk about a new favorite sweater. This is gonna be the sweater I wear all the time. Like, where's Tiffany? What's she doing? She in that sweater going somewhere. Yep, I am, because I'm gonna be cute and I'm gonna be cute and I'm gonna be fashionable and I'm just gonna look like cute mom on the go because I've got places to be and I'm doing things. Hi everyone and welcome back to ChicKnitChronicles. My name is Tiffany and today we have traditional podcast episode. I've been busy and a little bit chaotic, and that's okay. That's okay. Um, Sorry for I've been gone for, I guess it's been about 2 weeks now. I just had a lot going on and wasn't completely in the headspace, if I'm honest, to do this and then to edit. So I took the time that I needed, and now I'm back. I've got two things done and a whole mess of whips because, yeah. But I'll start with what I'm wearing. Today I am wearing a Cozy Classic raglan by Jessie May Designs. This is a Cozy Classic Light. This is knit out of Madeline Tosh. Their single ply. I'm totally drawing a blank on the name of their single ply fingering weight. But this one also has sparkle in it. I don't know if you're able to see that. And the colorway is called Afterglow. And I'm not sure if they actually even still make this colorway anymore, but I quite enjoy it. It's fun. I did a bishop sleeve on the cuff, and for the sleeve, I did no decreases. I just knit straight down from whatever the stitch count was to finish the body all the way down, and then I did a mega decrease, knit one, knit two together all the way around, and then I did a 3-stitch I-cord bind off. But the bottom hem is ribbed, as is the collar, as you can see. Yeah, so I guess I can start with my finished objects. So the first is a follow-up from last time. I did finish my totally had a brain fart. Okay, so I finished my April camisole. This is by Sophie at the Knit Purl Girl. It is, I knit mine in the size, I believe it was a 39, and I knit mine out of Knitting for Olive pure silk. I'll insert a couple of photos of me wearing it. The pattern is designed to have to fit closer to the body. It's designed to have a little less ease to negative ease, which I did not account for because I've never actually knit with pure silk single on something that's supposed to have negative ease. So I ended up with a little bit more drape than intended, which is fine. It actually fits really nicely. And I think it's going to be really breezy for the summertime. It did soften up a whole lot with blocking. It was previously very, very crunchy. It is no longer crunchy. It is much softer to the touch. I still don't like knitting with it. To be clear, I did not enjoy the knitting experience, but I can appreciate the end product. The pattern was beautifully written. Sophie has an amazing attention to detail. Everything was very clear. There wasn't anything like left to the imagination. There was no guessing. Everything went really nicely. Actually, I really enjoyed it. And because I did see online that people say that the pure silk tends to sag with time, I knit mine a little bit cropped so that as it sagged, it would be fine. Because as it is right now, it does reach just past my uh, the waistline, the waistband of my jeans. I mostly wear high-waisted jeans. But it sits past that, so like I don't really have to worry about the skin peak, but I did want to leave room for it to sag. one thing I did not enjoy, which is no fault of the pattern, is a folded and sewn down bind off, not a sewn bind off, not an Italian bind off, but a sewn down bind off in black yarn. Yeah, that, I think I was done. I was done with the tank, and I had to wait like an extra 3 days just to finish doing the bind off, just because doing it in the black yarn, my eyes, my eyes are not what they used to be. Okay, like they aren't, and it took some doing, but I'm glad I did it. It looks really nice. It's really clean. And the sleeves are finished with a 2-stitch I-cord, and then also the collar is also sewn down. And that was my prequel to knowing that it was going to be quite much. Because of the way that I'm shaped, it's cut a little low on me, but also I'm busty. So I feel like it's probably less of an issue for other people than it is for me. And I told you guys last time about where I messed up. It's still there. You can still see it. But it is less visible, and I don't know. So I've worn it once. We had a nice warm day. I wore it once and it was nice. It's spring, so it has yo-yoed back into cool for the last couple of days. But I have worn it since I finished it, and it was really nice. It was really comfortable, and I do think it is, I will grudgingly admit, it is a good yarn for summer, I do think. But I stand by, I don't like knitting with it. 10 toes down, don't like knitting with it. But the end result, is the juice worth the squeeze? Maybe if you live somewhere where you really, really want to knit and it's really, really hot, or your summer's really hot and you want to wear fingering weight hand knits, maybe the juice is worth the squeeze. For me personally, yet to be determined. You know, this will be my first summer with a pure silk tank. So we'll see. We'll see. Remind me to circle back in the fall to see the reality of the tank. And if I would do it again with something else. So, yet to be determined. And also, during my hiatus, I managed to knit something in its entirety that you guys didn't get to see progress, because this is just who I am. Remember I was asking, am I a vest person? Maybe. I finished it. I started it and I finished it. This is the Stockholm Slipover V-neck by Petite Knit. I knit this out of Farmer's Daughter fibers in their Juicy DK. It's Juicy DK, and the colorway is Flight of the Crane. And it's this cool tonal red color. I think so. When I first started talking about the vest, someone mentioned that the vest will probably give me more wear if it was in a simpler, more solid color, and they were probably right. This just came off the blocking mat, so I have not had a chance to wear it. I did remember to take a short video of me trying it on before I blocked it. Last minute, Hubs held my phone and was like, I need you to stand here and take this video of me really quick. And he's like, what's happening? I'm like, just do it. So I did manage to do that, because I was about to drop it in the water, and I was like, oh, I didn't do before and afters. I have to do before and afters. So yeah, I will try to do another video of myself, at least trying it on for the after blocking. But the yarn has really relaxed. It's so much softer now that it's been blocked, and not that it was hard before, because it wasn't, but this particular base is probably the springiest yarn I think I've probably ever used. Even previously, when describing it to my friends, I was like, it's so oingy boingy. And yeah, that's such a weird way to describe something as oingy boingy, but it is. Like, it's very springy. Like, it has a spring. It's almost like, it feels like it would be like a slinky, or like it would bounce like a basketball if I like rolled it up and like threw it at the floor. Like, and not that that's bad, it's just different. I never really used a base that was like that. But I really, really enjoy the color. It's really soft. The jury is still out if I am a vest person. Not sure, but I'm okay with the experiment. We'll see. I do have, I used about 2 and some change skeins of the yarn. Um, and I had 4. I thought I would need a little bit more of the yarn, which is fine. So now I just have to figure out what to do with a skein and 3/4 worth of DK. Got any suggestions? Because I have no idea. I don't know what to do with a skein and 3/4 of DK. It's almost 2 skeins of DK. I don't know what to do with it. So any suggestions would be great. But I'm excited. I ended up doing the pattern is written for fingering and mohair. And I, of course, did a single strand of DK, and I did do sewn bind offs for all my edging. I didn't do the setup rows, I just knit and went straight. And I do appreciate a good v-neck with a center double decrease. Gotta love a center double decrease. They look so clean and professional. But I really like it. There's really pretty tonality to this color, I think. And it's just enough to give it visual interest without looking messy. It's still giving red vest. It's still, and it's a brick red. It's not like a deep red. But I do really, really like it. So I'm excited to wear it and see and figure out. I really like button downs, but I tend not to wear them because they don't fit me the best. So the idea of wearing a button down under this was not necessarily the vision. But I'm willing to try it out. I'm not opposed to it. But I have to figure out if I'll be wearing this as a shirt or if it's a layering piece, or I don't know. I still don't know if I'm a vest person, but now I have a vest and we're going to figure it out. Baby steps. So, yes, that is my second finished object. Yay! So there's that. And then okay, so we'll start with my whips. And to say I have a significant amount of chaotic CastOn energy in this last week might be a bit of an understatement. Not sure, give or take. But your girl's been busy. So I will start with my oldest whip. I guess I should have had everything lined up here a little bit better. But why are there socks in my knitting bag? I don't know. Sure, it was a good idea at the time. Okay, so this is my traveler sweater by Minima Knit. I am knitting this out of Plucky Knitter Traveler Sport, and the colorway is called On the Rocks. It's a really, really pretty, kind of like basic charcoaly heather gray. It's gray, actually not quite charcoal, more so heather gray. It's been going well. I slowed down on it a little bit, not for really any good reason, but I just got distracted, as I'm wont to do. I forgot to put a progress keeper on there last time, but I'll make sure to do that this time. But I probably knit about an inch, maybe 2, since the last episode. And it's going well. I'm still excited to finish it. I just got distracted by color. Honestly, I got distracted by color, and you'll see shortly what's happening there. But it's still coming along, and I do think this is going to be a great basic that I reach for again and again, which is definitely something I wanted to explore and reinforce with my knitting this year. Oh, okay. So I don't know if I talked about this on here or not. I can't remember. But this year I wanted to explore more ease in how I felt about it. And what I've decided is, generally speaking, I don't. um, too much ease for me is just too much ease. Like I have decided and determined that I am solidly in the 4 inches or less of ease person. Like those big schmoopy comfy sweaters, they're comfortable. They are. But for me, those belong in the house, on the couch, being schmoopy, watching a movie, cuddling with the baby and the hubs. Like it's not for out in the world. Like I don't feel my best in oversized. And it's like currently like there's like this fashion trend of like baggy and cute and relaxed, or we're getting away from everything being tight. And it's like I don't want everything to be tight, but I do need it to fit. And I have discovered that like just this baggy movement, while I appreciate it, and so many of y'all look so cute doing it, it's just not for me. Like the baggy look I can do comfortable, but like I still I still need some tailoring. I still need some structure. I still need things that sit closer to my body. And I think that's just my perception of how I see my body is just that like things that fit closer to my body specifically, especially because I'm so top heavy, just look better on me. I do like the balance. I do like a full skirt, which irritates my mother because she would prefer I didn't wear a full skirt. She thinks I look better in straight. But I still like a full skirt, whether it looks good on me or not, can be argued. But when it comes to things up top and how I feel on the top half of my body, I just need them to fit. And I'm okay with that. It's a journey I had to go on, and I still appreciate like the wide leg jeans and stuff like that. But what I also realized there is I still want them to fit at the waist and the butt. Like I'm not trying to like bag off. Like I'm not worried about trying to have them almost falling off of me. I don't like too much room in the hip area. It's just for me and the way I see my body. Like I just want things to fit a little bit closer. I need a little bit more tailoring. I need a little bit more structure and less, I don't even know what to call it, excess, too much fabric. I don't know. I'm not hiding in my clothes. And if honestly, if I could have figured out a way to get the baggy look to look good on me, or what I feel like looks good on me, I'd be all for it. But I feel frumpy when I do the baggy look. I just do. I don't feel put together. I feel like I look homeless. And I feel like I don't know. I don't like it. That's how I feel. I feel like I don't like it. And that's how I feel about it. So we are done with ease. We have experimented. I do like my sweater number 9 light. And honestly, if I had that to knit all over again, I would knit in a smaller size. I would. It's comfortable. I love it. It looks really good. I love the color that I did, but I do wish it fit closer to the body. Even with the million times I wore it this winter, because I did like it. I did feel fashionable in it, but ultimately, I wish it fit closer to the body. So the ease experiment is over. I know how I feel about it now, and big and baggy and comfy, not my wheelhouse, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. But yeah, so there's that, which is fine. I know that was completely a tangent. That was not all that relevant, but I wanted to share. So, so remember when I said I was distracted by color? Well, so you know how we went on that whole journey with my zipper sweater light, and how I was obsessed with it, and I was like, I need 5 more of these in every color. um, I cast on another one in this delicious, delicious yarn. So the yarn I am doing is La Bien Amie, and this is her fingering single ply, and the colorway is called Happy Accident, and it is this beautiful combination of tonal reds and pinks and purples and burgundies, a little bit of black injected in there, and there's also little blips of gold. It's harder to see from a distance, but like maybe I can show you here. You see? Do you see how lovely this is? Do you see? Isn't it beautiful? So I use my handy dandy gauge calculator website, which I will link down below. And I discovered that per my gauge, which I did not write down for my notes for today, so I'll try and put it on the screen. Per my gauge, to get the size 44 bust, which is what I was going for. I want to knit the size 44 because, again, we're not doing ease here. Ease is not how we work over here. I want to knit the size 44, and according to the gauge website, I have to follow the stitch counts for the 55, while also taking into account that there is a row gauge difference. But fortunately, Petite Knit does appear to do lengths, like in distance, centimeters and inches for how long you should knit something instead of just row counts, and which is helpful. Like, for instance, there was, regardless of what your gauge was for the ribbing up top, she told you how many inches or centimeters that was supposed to knit before you folded it in half. So I will be sure to be using those more, because the website doesn't use row gauge, it just does stitch gauge, which is fine in something like this, because I can just knit until I get to the appropriate portion here at the underarm before I divide for sleeves and continue. So that part will be fine. But I'm excited. This is beautiful. I'm excited. I told you I'm gonna knit this, and like, I think I would love to knit one actually in DK. I think that would be wonderful. It would be magnificent. I would love to do that. But I don't have enough DK in stash of anything to knit the sweater in just DK without the mohair. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have anything in DK, which is fine, but I do have enough random fingering weight sweater quantities. I could probably get this done. So we'll see how this works. I know I have more than enough of this particular yarn to do it, but I'm excited. This is, talk about a new favorite sweater. This is going to be the sweater I wear all the time. Like, where's Tiffany? What's she doing? She in that sweater going somewhere. Yep, I am, because I'm going to be cute, and I'm going to be cute, and I'm going to be fashionable, and I'm just going to look like cute mom on the go, because I've got places to be and I'm doing things. Oh, because I am a random erratic person now, and you're just going to have to join me on this chaotic, frenetic ride today. We talked about how I did my colors online, and how I am most likely a deep winter. And I was just digging around trying to figure out, like, what that meant and all of that. And I came across this website, and it was someone, I think it's called like Radiantly Dressed or something. But she talks about having a signature color within your season. And I was looking at the colors that are in my season, and like I said, effectively deep winters are jewel tones plus black and white, right? And I knew I liked jewel tones, and when I look at my sister seasons, which is what warm spring and one of the autumns, I think it's deep autumn, they all have a recurring theme, which most seasons do. Like, they have a variation of particular colors that you can wear, or that theoretically should look good on your skin tone. And I realized one of the colors I gravitate towards a lot is very squarely within my season. And I think my signature color is going to be shades of berry, meaning this, because if that ain't some kind of berry, boysenberry, strawberry. Actually, what color is a boysenberry? I don't know. Some blackberry in there. We're doing shades of berry. Berry is going to be my signature color, I think. We'll see. I know I'm a random person. It's fine. But that also speaks to this, because this, I want to say, is like in the one of the reds for, like, I think it's warm spring. And then I do want to just kind of be more intentional about what makes sense, what is the benefit of doing this. And I like the idea that the colors that you wear, it what kind of attention is it bringing to you, right? And specifically the colors, meaning some colors complement your skin tone and some colors fight it, right? And which is fine. Always wear whatever it is that you want. But there are some things that you wear and it draws people to you, to your face, to engaging with you. And then there are things that draw people to what you're wearing and they don't see you, which is not always bad. But if you're trying to show up and show out, you want people to see you and then what you're wearing instead of what you're wearing and completely skip over you, right? Um, so in regards to that, I've just been trying to think a little bit more intentionally about what is there and how do I use it to my benefit. Because again, like I told y'all, cobalt blue can't tell me nothing in cobalt blue. And I thought about that being the signature color, but I think that color is gonna be an accent color that I do here and there, or like that I wear to formal events, or if I want something for a particular scenario or situation there, but just like on a regular day-to-day basis. I think berries is more me in regards to, it's already what I'm drawn to. I've always been drawn to shades of berry and dusty pinks. I went through this whole phase. Some of my friends will tell you I went through this whole phase. I wanted everything, every yarn I got, anything that was being released. They just sent it to me because they knew that Tiffany wanted that dusky brown pink. And I still do, but I need it to be a little bit deeper in order to be good for my complexion and skin tone. And I love that. I love having a better idea of what it is that I need. It's going to look good on me. It's exciting. But anyway, my zipper sweater light. I'm excited. Okay. So yeah, that happened. And then this happened. Okay. So what is this, you might ask? This is the very beginnings of Cumulus Tee by Petite Knit. And this is being knit out of Farmer's Daughter Fiber. Farmer's Daughter Fiber episode? Well, two things. This is being knit out of Farmer's Daughter Fibers in the colorway Big Sky Sunset in their, I believe it's Squish fingering. And I love the way this feels in my hand. Oh, just it's so delicious. It's so delicious. This is a direct result of, I have an event I need to go to next month. And of course, instead of just wearing something I already have, I needed to knit myself something new because I'm a crazy person. Or I'm just like all of you. I don't know. Am I just like all of you? Please let me know in the comments. Do you just randomly decide you need to knit yourself something new because you have an event to go to? But I do. I have an event to go to. The attire is business casual, so there is no requirement for me to be doing this. Do I have things in my closet, in my drawers, in my knitting cabinet that I could wear? Absolutely. Did I cast on a new sweater to wear anyway? Also, absolutely. Could I just wear the vest I just finished? Absolutely. Am I going to? So yeah, I decided that I had a vision in my head. I fell victim to unintentional advertising, I guess. This chick online was just talking about her skirt and picked a couple different outfits to go with the skirt, and I was like, I'm obsessed with that skirt. I need that skirt, or I will in fact die. Um, so found the skirt. It's currently on its way. And I also decided that I needed to dig into the stash and make a sweater or top to go with said skirt. So here we are, and I am making a top. And okay, so what happened was I I had a very specific idea in mind. I wanted a shirt that looked like a blouse. Um, I wanted something that was a closet staple so that I wasn't wasting my time, because this is something I could continue to pick up and wear and it would look good. I wanted something that had a V-neck of some sort. And I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted sleeves, because the time of year will be June in New York. I'll be in New York City for this event, and that would theoretically imply sleeveless, but we'll be inside. And where we will be inside will probably have the AC cranked on negative 45, right? Which means I'm going to be cold inside. Um, and again, I'm usually okay wearing wool in the winter as long as, again, it's tightly spun, which this yarn is. It's not, it doesn't have a nylon blend, I don't think. I'll have to look, I don't remember. But I think I will be okay in this particular yarn, especially if I'm just going from point A to point B, like the hotel to a cab to where I'm going, and I won't be outside that long, so I should be fine. Yeah, so then I decided I probably want at least a little bit of sleeve because cold. I didn't want anything that had too prominent a raglan, but I was okay with it having a raglan. But I definitely did want it to be a V-neck. And I didn't necessarily want a ribbed collar. I was very specific about that because I didn't want it to look too casual. I wanted it to still be a little bit refined. And the rabbit hole that I went down looking for a V-neck top, one thing I will say to designers, I know it's probably a pain in the butt, but when you're uploading your patterns to Ravelry, it's definitely worth it to tag all the things. Like anything that your pattern is, tag it, because when you're going through Ravelry and you're like specifying the things that you're looking for, sometimes what I've noticed is that if a designer hasn't tagged their pattern as that, it gets removed from the search results. So if I specifically tagged V-necks, but you didn't tag V-neck on your pattern, as I'm looking through the pages and pages and pages and pages, because I am someone who will look at every single page of Ravelry before I make a decision. Even if I have to get to page 152, I'll very intentionally not close the tab, and I will go for days and I will click until I have finished and reached all the way to the very end where the patterns don't even have pictures anymore. Okay, that is how deep that I will go into the depths of Ravelry looking for a pattern. But if I specify that I was looking for a V-neck and your pattern is a V-neck and you didn't tag it as a V-neck, I didn't see it. In 150 pages worth of patterns, I didn't see it. So that was just a whole personal rant. I do wish designers would tag everything that their pattern is, all the shaping. Is it a raglan? Is it top down? Is it a V-neck? You know, all of those things. Anyway, I say all of that to say I went through up, back and forth around a circle. I found a couple that I liked, but ultimately, one, this was on my spring to-do list, but two, when I came down, so I was like, I wanted something that was mostly size inclusive. I wanted something that didn't have a ribbed collar. I wanted something that didn't have a prominent raglan. If it had a raglan, it's fine. I just didn't want it to be a prominent detail. And I wanted it to be something that ultimately I could dress up or down. And I ended up with this. There were a couple of things that I almost made, but then ultimately just decided on this one, mostly because I was familiar with the designer and I didn't want to delve too far into what's happening here, what's going on. But there is another one that I may end up knitting at a later date that I liked. I'm drawing a blank on the name of it right now, but editing Tiffany added so people can see. It was a nice pattern. But yeah, so remember when I said I got distracted by color? This hot pink, it was staring at me, and I almost cast this on. I have Malabrigo yarn sock in Matisse blue, which is cobalt blue, basically, but the skirt I'm wearing is black, and I decided that hot pink and black was better for June than cobalt blue and black. I figured cobalt blue and black, red more fall. Anyway, those are decisions that were made, and this is where we are. So I did just get started on this not too long ago, but I am really excited about it. I think it's going to look really, really nice. So yay for events in June that mean I have to randomly cast on and knit myself a sweater for no reason. Yay! Okay, and then I have one more whip because I am who I am. And again, I was distracted by color, and what are you going to do? So I guess I can start with the yarn that started all of this. I went to New Orleans last year to with my husband. We had an event, visited a friend, and we kind of did like an impromptu yarn swap while we were there, and she gifted me these. This is KenYarn. What is the name of this yarn? Hold on. Okay, I'm back. This is KenYarn, and it's on his Cirrus fingering base, and the colorway is called Queen Bee. Ken, unfortunately, his name isn't Ken. Anyway, he doesn't dye yarn anymore, but this this is his colorway, Queen Bee. And I am rotating them because, as you can see, this one is a little bit darker than this one. So I am doing helical knitting on these. But I was like, this is probably a little chaotic for me at my big age because I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm crazy for thinking that. I don't know. But what I decided I needed to do was do a sporty collar. So I cast on in the black, knit 4 rows, Malabrigo yarn sock. Then I knit 3 rows in this delicious, delicious, delicious hot fuchsia. And this is Old Rusted Chair in her Squish fingering, and the colorway is called Trollop. So I decided that this was the combo I needed in my life. Do you see the vision? Do you see where I was going? Okay, now I'm going to show you what the vision looks like in real life. I probably should have put this on bigger needles, but I didn't, so here we are. I am knitting the Tolsta Tee by Rebecca Clow in fingering weight because I'm a fingering weight girl. That's who we are around here in these parts. But here's where we are so far. The way I did this, and we talked about how when I do a crew neck, I want it to crew a little higher. So what I did was I cast on for the smallest size, and immediately after I finished the ribbing, I increased to the 43, I believe is the size. And for the ribbing, what I did was, so I cast on, knit 4 rows in black, 3 rows in 4 rows, 3 rows, 3 rows in the pink, and then another 5 rows in the black. So I made it 5-3-5, which is 13 rows, which is not quite what the pattern dictates, but I can do what I want, right? And then I did the short rows in 1 skein, and then I added in the second just so that I wouldn't end up with, you know, bright on top, faded on the bottom. So just to keep it consistent and simple. But I really do think it's helping calm it down, and grow it up a little bit, so it's like mature chaos, maybe, I don't know. But I figured, because I would stare at it again where I sit in my desk, I can see my yarn cabinet with all my fingering weight yarn in it, and it had just been staring at me for a while. And I think, is it Tolsta Tee, the tee I originally wanted to knit with this? I don't remember, but I always knew that because the yarn was so chaotic that I would want to knit something simple with it. So my plan ultimately will be the sleeve ribbing will have the same repeat. I have not yet decided about the body, if I'm gonna repeat the same on the bottom. I don't know, I think that might be too much. You guys weigh in. What do you think? Because I feel like it would be distracting for that to be at the bottom of the sweater. Like, you're trying to like French tuck it into something and then you've got like all this extraness going on at the bottom. I feel like it might be too much that maybe at the bottom I either do regular rib or even, dare I say, a folded hem? An idea. One thing I learned from Sophie and the April camisole is that when you are doing a folded hem, you should switch to a smaller size needle on the part that's going to be folded on the inside, because that helps tuck the yarn. Because you ever notice that a lot of times with folded hems, like it just be flapping and flying away, maybe up here like this, and like the sweater's here, but then you got that folded hem and it just be sitting out like this. Sophie's pattern doesn't do that. Why? Probably because she had you change to a smaller needle. Pro tip, things I learned testing a tank top. So yeah, so I may consider folding the hem, help finish it off, make it a little bit polished. I'm not sure. The jury's still out, it's not a decision I have to make today, so I'm not too worried about it, honestly. But I'm knitting it. But I figured that would be an option. Yeah, because I think I'm going to repeat the CastOn on the sleeves. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the bottom? Did I fold it? Did I repeat the same details? Okay. Well, those are all my whips. I have one acquisition, I guess it's technically two acquisitions, but I bought them at the same time. So whatever. I was in Joann's. I don't remember why I was in Joann's. I was in there for something. And of course, being a yarny, I had to pass by the yarn. I couldn't just go in Joann's and get what I needed and leave. I had to pass by the yarn. Well, what would you know that the yarn was on sale? And it was just looking at me, looking all yarny and delicious. So obviously some of it had to come home with me. Duh. As I was walking around, I saw this yarn. And it's by Lucky brand. And it's 100% bamboo. And it was on sale. And this colorway is called Volcanic Glass. And again, as a part of my colors, this is one of my neutrals. And what's interesting is even before I had my colors done, this was one of the colors I was curious about because I had seen she's a high fashion YouTuber I like. I think she just rebranded to her name, which is Janae Taylor or Janae Taylor. I think it's Taylor, Janae Taylor. But she did an episode. She was in her closet and she had a sweater, and it was this shade of like taupey gray mud. And in that moment, I was like, I love that color. I need taupey gray mud. And I've been keeping an eye out for it in case I saw somebody dyeing it, or the closest I saw to anything that was like commercially made would be Knitting for Olive. Dusty Elephant. It's dusty, something purple, something dusty purple. But I saw it knit up, and I discovered it because I was looking on Ravelry through projects for, I think it was knitting for olive mohairs or something. And I was just scrolling, looking at projects, and I saw someone had used the merino and the mohair together, and it was beautiful, but it was this color. And like when you look at it online, it looks like a purple. But when I saw it photographed with like people in their projects, it was definitely more of like this gray. It definitely still has purple undertones, but it was still like this muddy taupey gray color. And I just, and I was also, I've been curious again. I wanted to try more summer weight yarns, or summer fiber yarns, I should say. And this being 100% bamboo, and according to Ravelry, according to this, you're supposed to use 4mm needle US6, which puts it somewhere between what probably a sport-ish weight. So I figured I could find something to knit out of this. So I bought enough of it for that. And then I also figured I could give myself something practical, like I want to make that out of. So I got these two colors to make a Farnham tee by the Knit Pro Girl, Sophie from the Knit Pro Girl. And the main color will be this pink, and then the stripes will be this blue. And I figured that would be cute with like some denim shorts or something for summer. And again, it's 100% bamboo, and this pink is called Dusty Cedar. Why is everything being called dusty these days? What is that about? And this blue is called Washed Blue. But I figured that would be a nice combination for summer. And what I think I'm going to do for the collar is, I don't know, I think you start the sweater and then you pick up and knit the collar after you've done the front and the back. And what I think I'm going to do is when I knit the collar, I'm going to bind it off in the blue, just for a little extra detail. And then, with the stripes, it being in the blue, I think that'll be really nice. So that's my plan there. I'm probably going to have to look at gauge with this, because I want to say the Farnham tee is knit in like a DK worsted gauge. So I'm definitely going to have to use the handy dandy knit calculator website to figure out what size I should knit. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to. Have I been up to anything else? I don't think so. I feel like I've been up to enough, right? Like, I had to quit casting on things. I mean, I finished 2 things. So that gave me like carte blanche to cast on at least one thing. How it ended up with three things, I don't know. Don't at me, okay? I just be out here living on vibes. It's cool. It's cool. It's fine. But I guess that's it. I haven't baked anything recently, mostly because I know that we're going to be leaving soon. It just doesn't seem like I should be baking anything right now. I haven't had a craving for madeleines in a while. I could make some madeleines. Maybe I'll make some madeleines. If I do before I finish editing this, I'll definitely put in some footage of me making the madeleines. I can do that. But yeah, just hanging out. The baby's doing good. I think she's taking a nap right now. She's really quiet upstairs. And I guess that's it. I will see you all next. I still haven't forgotten you. I am definitely still going to make my fingering weight t-shirt roundup. The list, it keeps getting so long. But what I think I might do is nix popular designers, right? Because it's like, we all know about, the Cumulus Tee, or, we all know about the Cumulus Tee or other things like that, So it's like, maybe I will skip the popular designers and go for the less popular designers, or patterns at the very least don't have a lot of projects. I might do that just to kind of cut down the list. I think at this point it's at like 25. And are y'all really trying to sit through a pattern list of 25 patterns? I feel like I would be rambling for like hours and hours and hours, and y'all would be like, why are you still on my computer screen? Go away. So I think I have to figure out a way to cut it down. Because I think that will help it be less ridiculous. Because 25, who needs 25 patterns? Like, no, it's too much. Okay. So I think that's what I'm going to do. If you've made it this far and you enjoyed my video in any way, thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, share this video with a friend. Maybe we can hang out. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you next time.